What's good, job? I've got some super awesome buffs for type Null and Silvally. So, type Null is the only normal and steel type in the hack. I understand type Null, oh, it's supposed to be typeless, why did you add a type to type Null? Look, it's not that deep, it already has a type anyways. Not to mention typeless would be kind of shit because like you don't have any resistances. Normal steel is actually a really good defensive typing because it's literally just steel type. It's the same as pure steel, but you trade a 4x fighting weakness for a ghost immunity. Otherwise, it's identical. Yeah, you have a ghost immunity and you have more damage from fighting moves. If you're running filter, you're only taking 3 times from those, and of course you do have a violate, so type Null is incredibly bulky. If you can't tell, I prefer type Null's design to Silvally. I like Silvally a lot too, and I would totally use it, but I would definitely take the advantage of a type Null with the violate or other items for a while, because his design is just so cool to me. I love the idea that he's like being held back by this helmet. Also, that's why I chose steel type if it wasn't obvious. There was actually a point in development where I considered making all of the Silvally forms part steel, but sadly it's not possible. Otherwise, I totally would have, just because it's unique and cool, and debatably better, you know. It's a little bit weird, but I guess it's a little bit better this way anyways. Also, by the way, if you're new here and you're just clicking on this video because, you know, you saw a cool thumbnail with Silvally and type Null in it, make sure you check out the Google Sheet. It's in the description. You can take a look at every single Pokemon buff and change, as well as 600 plus move buffs and changes on that little move sheet. It took me a long time to make, so please do give that a look. There are also 130 plus custom brand new moves. As you can see, there's quite a few of them on screen here. I did change their signature moves, which I'll get into, but first I just want to talk about in general how they function. So Silvally has Archaea system and adaptability. Every single Pokemon in this hack is balanced to have 2 good abilities that they switch between with an infinite use ability capsule. So adaptability is a nuke. Adaptability gives you big damage on your normal type stab, and then you have all your great coverage moves. So that works great with extreme speed. If you're not doing a Nuzlocke, it works great with explosion, which is a special move that always crits now. So that's 375 base power. But in general, you know, extreme speed adaptability, very good. And you have Technoblast and Multi-Attack, which are both 120 base power moves that always drop special defense or physical defense, depending on which of the moves it is. You get the drives and the memories via Porygon. That will be a gift Pokemon. It's complicated, so I'd rather you just go watch the Porygon video. By the way, Porygon 2 can change forms back into Porygon Z, and Porygon Z can go back into Porygon 2. It's really sick. But yeah, check out that video or check out the Google Sheet. There's a whole section on the ability guide for how you get those items. But yeah, type Null will be an island scan, probably around like mid-Ulul Island, so that'll be really cool. So you can use type Null or Silvally depending on which of the two you prefer, what your team structure is. You know, in general, they're both really great because type Null is super bulky and still very strong. He doesn't get, you know, Technoblast or Multi-Attack or Extreme Speed, and he doesn't have a good special attack stat, which I think fits more, by the way. I think type Null being purely physical, and then type Silvally as mixed makes more sense because of the whole helmet like blocking his mouth and that's like restricting him. And of course, type Null is still much slower than Silvally. I did have to take some out of bulk for Silvally, which I think is fair. It's still pretty bulky. 95, 80, 80 is not bad, especially considering you can change your type, you know, to counter whatever's in front of you on the team sheets for trainer fights. You can resist anything, so it's really good, and it still has great defensive utility with Recover and Parting Shot and all that fun stuff. And of course, type Null can also Recover and Parting Shot, and he is so much bulkier than Silvally. It's not even funny. With the Violite or without it, even he's still bulkier by a lot. And that steel typing really does help. And like I said, that 4x fighting weakness is not a big deal. Just don't fucking use it on them. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. 4x weakness does not make a Pokemon bad. And again, filter does make those 3 times. And then of course your single weaknesses, which are only 2 more, I believe it's what, fire and ground, those become 1.5. And then you resist or are neutral. Sorry, you're immune to steel and ghost. No, poison and ghost. And then you are pretty much resisting everything else in the game. And there's a couple types that are neutral on you. But in general, like, it's such a good typing. Normal steel, very underrated. Very, very underrated typing. It's weird that we don't have one yet. It's really cool typing. I like it a lot on type Null. And of course, I want one Pokemon of every type, so I think type Null is the best candidate for a normal steel type. Because of that whole helmet that he has, you know, that was manufactured to restrict him. Battle Armor is a great ability in this hack because of all the 100% crit moves and also the 50% crit moves that are all over the place, especially First Impression. Having that Battle Armor type Null as like a guaranteed First Impression swallower is great because you have Battle Armor and you're a Steel type, you will swallow even like the strongest First Impressions. You can switch in on at ease, and of course, you know, stuff like Wicked Blow and all these other strong moves that always crit. There's a whole list of them on that move sheet below. Heat Wave even, you know, all types of crazy moves always crit now. So completely shutting those down, not completely, but making them deal significantly less damage, especially when it comes to ruthless Pokemon, is a great tool for type Null. You can switch on Battle Armor whenever you see a crit move on the opponent's team, otherwise you're running Filter. It's that simple. I also didn't mention this yet, but there is an exclusive post-game gift. So Gladion type Null will have Bulletproof, which also fits very well, and that makes you immune to Aura Sphere and Focus Blast and Mud Bomb and all these other really strong moves. So Bulletproof's a good ability as well for type Null. But I'm assuming if you're getting that post-game gift, you're probably going to want the Versatility Silvally. Versatility functions like Protean. It's post-game only. It's very strong, similar to stuff like Genesect, where they just change their type and go crazy. That'd be super fun. And Gladion will be using that. So Gladion's Silvally will have Versatility. And it's kind of cool, because then he's kind of giving you his, like, I guess it was one that he bred. I forget how the whole storyline goes, but I know he gives you type Null. So yeah, his having an exclusive ability is cool for post-game. Otherwise, the main game one that you're going to be using for the majority of the game is Filter / Battle Armor Adaptability / RKS system. Both abilities are great on Silvally. You know, adaptability is good for power, but then of course changing your type with multi-attack is also worth it for RKS system. So definitely don't sleep on RKS system. Still a great ability. Yeah, incredible move pool. I do not have close to enough time to get through all these moves, but I don't think any of them are weird. I mean, they're fucking so valid. They're like fake Arceus, you know, they can learn any move they want, really. I could have even gone more with this, but I think these are all pretty reasonable. Stuff like D-Dance is pretty cool. Setup in general is a lot less viable, but type Null has the bulk to get off like 2D, oh my god, 2 DDs easily. Silvally can also use it, but you have other good stuff like Mastery Potter, Swords Dance, and SDE, speed, adaptability, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Setup is a lot less broken because there's a lot of priority phasing moves that exist in this hack, and also just straight out first impression will like check a lot of faster offensive starts like Silvally. In game, I'm sure you can definitely sweep some boss fights with it, but you won't be able to just sweep every fight with Silvally. That's for sure. Skull Bash is super cool. Always crits, gives you +1 attack, defense, and accuracy. I already said recover. Quick attack might seem weird on type Null because he's supposed to be slow, but I don't know. I give priority to everything. I think it's a cool little option on type Null, and he also gets first impression, which fits really well anyways. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. He's just got a lot of great moves. They're really fucking cool. Really, really cool Pokemon. I don't think I need to explain any of these CMs or tutor moves at all. I'm pretty sure they all fit well. A lot of these moves are buffed or changed though, so please do give those a look. I guess I can say, like, for type Null, his best steel stat is Iron Head or Laceration. Sadly, those are his only two. And Smart Strike, which is actually pretty cool because it gives you accuracy, and it's only 5 base power weaker than Iron Head. Laceration is another 50% crit move, so that'll be 105 base power if it crits. However, you need to hold a Scope Lens for that to be consistent. And of course, type Null wants to hold a Violite for most fights. Not always, certain fights you can run Choice Band or Scarf or even some other item. Or if you have another Violite Pokemon, his stats are good on their own. You don't need a Violite every fight for sure, but most of the time you'll still be running that. Yeah, Rage is really good with Recover. Rage will give you +1 attack each time you get hit. That's 80 base power. That's really cool with Recover on a bulky, a Violite type Null. That's a really fun thing for sure. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna leave the video off there. Thanks so much for listening. This is a pretty brief one, surprisingly. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. That evolution method, I guess I could say, that's standard in this hack. All Pokemon that are a Violite viable evolve with a gem, just so you don't have to spam the B button every time they level up. And I can't use items to evolve because that wastes Pokemon spots, and it also is inconsistent because I can't change overworld items, so I can't control where you pick up a Thunderstone in the overworld or something. So it's just all easier just to have gems purchasable at a certain point, and then that way I can control what level you evolve your Pokemon at. So most Pokemon either evolve straight up by level up or just with a gem. Yeah, alright, thanks for listening, and I'll be back for more Alola buffs and changes coming up. Pretty sick one here.